Good morning and welcome to Zenit Tutorials. In today's video lesson, we'll be talking about part 2 of machines, that is levers. Now before going ahead, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, do it right away so that you don't miss any update, and don't forget to tap on the bell icon. Okay, so let's go ahead with levers. So what is a lever, students? A lever is a rigid, straight or bent bar which is capable of turning about a fixed axis. So there is a fixed axis known as fulcrum about which the lever turns. Okay, so there are different kinds of lever: class 1 lever, class 2 lever and class 3 lever. Let us study them in detail, but before going here, let us study what is the principle of lever. Now, principle of lever states that at equilibrium, that is when the lever is not moving, at equilibrium, the moment of load about the fulcrum is equal to moment of effort about the fulcrum. So, load into load arm is equal to effort into effort arm. So, here we bring effort down here. So, load upon effort is effort arm upon load arm. Okay, we have cross multiplied it. So, now we have already studied that load upon effort is mechanical advantage. So, mechanical advantage is effort arm upon load arm. Now, let's see what is effort arm and load arm. Now, see in this lever, okay, we have a fulcrum, that is a fixed point about which the lever turns. So, this is the fulcrum, this is where I have hanged the load, and this is the effort. This is the point where I have applied effort. So, now the distance from fulcrum to the load, this distance is called load arm, okay, and the distance from fulcrum to effort is called effort arm. Okay, so mechanical advantage is effort arm upon load arm. So here the effort arm is this, if we name it as A, B and C. So effort arm is AB and load arm is BC. So mechanical advantage is effort arm upon load arm. Now, before going further, before studying the mechanical advantage of all three types of lever, first let us understand what are the three types of lever, what are the three classes of levers. So, class 1 lever, in class 1 lever, the fulcrum is in between effort and load. In class 2 lever, the load is between fulcrum and effort. In class 3 lever, the effort is between fulcrum and load. Now, how do you remember this? This becomes very confusing and at times in exam you forget it. So, I make my students learn it this way. Do you know about flea market? Okay, FLE, flea market. Okay, so here in class 1 F is in between, class 2 L is in between and class 3 E is in between. So, flea, FLE. This is how you will remember class 1, class 2 and class 3 types of lever. Now students, in class 1 type of lever, fulcrum can be anywhere in between effort and load. It need not be exactly in the middle, it can be anywhere. So, if fulcrum is between effort and load and effort can be on either side, no problem. Only F has to be in between. Effort यहाँ पे भी हो सकता है, यहाँ पे भी हो सकता है. You can change everywhere. Only you have to remember flea, F-L-E. So, in class 1 lever, fulcrum is between effort and load both are in same direction. In class 2 lever, load is between fulcrum and effort and they both are in opposite direction. Here also effort is between fulcrum and effort and load are in opposite direction. So, only class 1 lever, effort and load are in same direction. Here effort and load are in different directions. Now, talking about mechanical advantage and velocity ratio of these three levers. Now, in class 1 levers, you can see that this fulcrum can be anywhere in between. So, this distance, that is load arm. See, what is the formula of mechanical advantage? Effort arm upon load arm. So, if it is exactly in between, the fulcrum is exactly in between, both of them are equal. Okay, so mechanical advantage is effort arm upon load arm. If both of them are equal, mechanical advantage can be 1. Okay, now if fulcrum is slightly shifted here, then this load arm will be bigger. So if load arm is bigger, mechanical advantage will be less than 1. Okay. And if fulcrum is slightly shifted here, the effort arm will be bigger, so mechanical advantage can be more than 1. So in class 1 type of lever, mechanical advantage can be equal to 1 when it is exactly in between. When it is slightly shifted here, then load arm becomes bigger, so mechanical advantage can be less than 1, and if it is shifted here, mechanical advantage can be more than 1. So in class 1 lever, mechanical advantage can be more than 1, less than 1 or equal to 1. And since in idle machine we have already studied that mechanical advantage is equal to velocity ratio, so velocity ratio also can be more than 1, less than 1 and equal to 1 in case of class 1 lever. Right? Here you can see if effort arm is equal to load arm, mechanical advantage is 1, and in this case the lever acts as change in direction. When effort arm is less than load arm, mechanical advantage is less than 1. In this case the lever acts as gain in speed. And when effort arm is more than load arm, mechanical advantage is more than 1, and therefore it acts as a force multiplier. This we have already studied how it is, so I am not going in detail. Okay. Now, in class 2 type of lever, okay, always fulcrum is at this side, okay, at one corner, fulcrum is at one corner, either here or here, and load is in between. So, this is the distance of load arm, okay, this is the distance of load arm, and this is the distance of effort arm. Because load arm is from fulcrum to load, effort arm is from fulcrum to effort. So here you can see effort arm will always be bigger than the load arm. So if effort arm is always be bigger than load arm, then mechanical advantage will be always more than 1. So in class 2 type of lever, mechanical advantage and velocity ratio is always more than 1. This is the favorite question of the examiners, that in class 2 levers, what is the mechanical advantage and why? Okay, or in class 3 lever, what is the mechanical advantage or velocity ratio and why? So you have to explain it by drawing this diagram and writing this formula. Okay, now in class 3 lever, the effort arm is always smaller. This is the effort arm and this is the load arm. So if load arm is bigger, mechanical advantage will be always less than 1. So in class 3 types of lever, mechanical advantage and velocity ratio both are always less than 1. Okay. Now we will study the examples of all 3 classes of lever and we'll do some numericals based on 3 types of levers. Study the examples of class 1 type of lever. Okay. Now in class 1 type of lever, as I already told you, mechanical advantage and velocity ratio can be equal to 1, more than 1 and less than 1. So let's see all the examples here. Now in case of a seesaw, you can see that there is a fulcrum in between and the kids turn about at both the ends. So the effort arm and load arm is equal in this case. So the mechanical advantage is 1. Now in the case of opening a lid with the help of a long handle spoon, you can see that wherever the spoon touches is the fulcrum. The load is where you have to open the lid. Okay, here is the load and effort is here. We apply effort here so as to lift the lid. So in this case, the mechanical advantage is more than 1 because the effort arm is longer than the load arm. Load arm is very small, only the tip of the spoon, but effort arm is more. So here mechanical advantage is more than 1, so it acts as a force multiplier, and by applying a small effort we are able to gain more force, so we are able to open the lid. Here lots of students gets confused here in shears and in scissors. Now children, you should remember that shears is used when we want force multiplier, when we want the lever to act as a force multiplier. So here the handles are big in shears and this arm is less, this is smaller. Whereas in scissors the handles are small and these are big. So in this case the load arm is smaller and the effort arm is more. Okay, so if the effort arm is more, mechanical advantage is more than 1 and it acts as a force multiplier. So in shears, mechanical advantage is more than one because we want more force. We want to cut some metal piece or some wire, so there shears is used. Now in case of scissors, we want to apply less effort and we want the load to move a longer distance. Okay, तो छोटा हाथ घुमाने पे ज़्यादा कपड़ा कटना चाहिए, तो this has to move more. So in this we want gain in speed. फटाफट हम थोड़ा थोड़ा हिलाएंगे, अब फटाफट बड़ा सा कपड़ा कट जाएगा. So here we want gain in speed. So here if there is load, if load is here, fulcrum is here and effort is here. So this load arm is bigger than the effort arm. So whenever the load arm is bigger than the effort arm, MA is less than 1, so it acts as gain in speed. Now we'll look at other examples wherever mechanical advantage is more than 1. Okay, that is we want it to act as a force multiplier. At that time the examples are shears, crowbar, claw hammer and pliers. Just remember कि कहाँ हमें ज़्यादा force लगाना पड़ रहा है, वहाँ mechanical advantage is more than 1 होगा. तो which type of questions will be asked? You will be given a lot of examples and you will have to identify which class of lever it is, or they will give you the name of the example and will ask you whether it acts as a force multiplier or gain in speed or for change in direction. Right? So for MA equal to 1, it is used to change direction. एक बच्चा नीचे आएगा तो दूसरा बच्चा ऊपर जाएगा. Right? Now mechanical advantage is equal to 1, physical balance. Another example is physical balance. Now where mechanical advantage is less than 1, scissors and long handle oar. In long handle oar, the person sits with the oar and larger portion of the oar is inside water. Fulcrum is on the side of the boat and he holds the oar inside, so that the effort arm is lesser and the load arm is bigger. So if load arm is bigger, okay, then the mechanical advantage will be less than 1 and it will have gain in speed. So he will be able to ride the boat with more speed. Okay. Now one more important question that comes from this section is use of lever in human body. Okay, so you should remember one example each of all the kinds of lever. So in class 1 lever, the example is nodding of head. So whenever you are nodding your head, your load is this side. ठीक है, आप अपना सर नीचे लाने की कोशिश करते हो, तो load is this side. जुड़ा हुआ कहाँ से? यहाँ पे, और हम effort यहाँ डालते हैं कि वो पीछे आए. तो effort पीछे है, fulcrum बीच में है और load यहाँ है. तो जहाँ पे भी fulcrum बीच में होगा, it will be class 1 type of a lever. So to recap, in class 1 type of a lever, we get all the examples where mechanical advantage is more than 1, equal to 1 and less than 1, and in our body it is, the example is nodding of head. Now let's study class 2 types of lever. Now in class 2 type of lever, we know that load is in between. So here you can see the bottle opener. Here when you touch the bottle opener, you see that fulcrum is at the end, you touch it from the end, और load, ये जो bottle का lid है, that acts as a load in the downward direction. So it is in between and you pull it up, so effort is up. So load and effort are in opposite direction. In a wheelbarrow, the wheel is touching the ground, so fulcrum is at the end. Load of the wheelbarrow, this load acts in between center of gravity. So it acts between down and you pull it up, so effort is up. So load and effort are in opposite direction and fulcrum is at the end. Here also in the long bar used to lift the load. Here you touch the bar here at the ground, so fulcrum is here, load acts in between and effort is up. In nutcracker or lemon squeezer, you squeeze it like this, so effort is like this, fulcrum is in the end because you have joined it, and load, when effort is up, here load is down. When effort is down, load is up. So they are in opposite directions. The other examples are nutcrackers, bottle opener, lemon crusher, paper cutter and a door. Now, as I said earlier, you should remember the example in our body. Okay, so when you are raising the weight of your body on your toes, अपने toes पे आप खड़े होने की कोशिश करते हैं. So your toes are at fulcrum, your weight of the body acts in between, and effort, your effort lies here. You try to pull it, so effort is here, toes is fulcrum and load is center. So here the raising the weight of the body in toes comes under class 2 types of levers. Now let's go ahead with class 3 type of levers. Now in class 3 types of lever, you know effort is in between fulcrum and load. So here you can see this will be fulcrum. Okay, effort हम यहाँ लगाते हैं. This is ice tong or fire tong. Here is the effort and load is here. So effort is in between fulcrum and load. Okay, you should always remember that effort and load are in opposite direction. You can see the knife here. When you're holding the knife, you're touching it to the ground or to the place where you keep the knife. Okay, or to any fruit that you are keeping the knife on. So load is acting here. Okay, fulcrum is where you touch the knife and effort is applied in between. Okay, now in case of a spade, you can see load, the heavy part that is here, which is acting downward, and you are holding it from here and you apply the effort like this. Okay, so effort is in between, load acting down, and fulcrum is from where you hold it tight. So other examples of class 3 are foot treadle, fishing rod, and in a boat race, rowing boat with short handle oar. This is very important. If you remember, I have told you that in class 1 type of a levers, we give the example of a person rowing a boat with long handle oar. So in that case, the fulcrum is in between and he does it from inside. But in case of boat race, when they want a lot of gain in speed, okay, so gain in speed is when mechanical advantage is less than 1. Here what he does, the fulcrum is at the boat, okay, on the side of the boat he keeps it. Okay, the oar goes in the water and in between, that is his hand is outside the boat. So in between he applies effort. So effort is in between. So mechanical advantage will always be less than 1 and it will act as gain in speed. Okay, now moving further, where it is used in our body to lift a load. So with the help of a forearm, when you are lifting a load, when you are handling a load like this, okay, so the load will act down. Here the load is acting down. This is the fulcrum, okay, because here it is joining, and the muscles, okay, effort will be acted by these muscles. So he will lift the load like this. So this is the fulcrum where it moves, load acting downward, and these muscles are exerted. So effort is here. So effort is here, load is here, both are in opposite direction. In class 3, you should remember that mechanical advantage is always less than 1, okay, and effort is in between load and fulcrum. Now, let's go ahead with the numericals of this chapter. Let's have a look at this example. Here they have given the diagram and they have asked to which class of lever does it belong, and give one example of this class. Seeing the diagram, it's very clear that fulcrum is in between. So remember flea, F-L-E, F was first. So fulcrum is in between. So this is class 1 type of lever. Now give one example of this class. You can give any example, scissor, plier, seesaw, anything. Okay. Now second part, state the principle of moments as applied to the above lever. So for any lever, the principle of moment is effort into effort arm is equal to load into load arm. So everywhere you have to write this. Then, and hence calculates its mechanical advantage if AB is 2.0 meter and AF is 20 centimeter. So look here. Here they have shown AB is 2.0 meter. So AB is 2 meter. Okay. And they have shown AF is 20 centimeter. So 20 centimeter is 0.2 meter. So this AF is 0.2 meter. So we can calculate FB as 2 minus 0.2. So which is 1.8 meter. So now from this diagram we can say that load arm, that is distance between load and fulcrum, is 0.2 meter and effort arm is 1.8 meter. Right? So mechanical advantage is effort arm upon load arm. So 1.8 meter upon 0.2, which is 9. So here the mechanical advantage is more than 9. It will act as force multiplier. Now our second question, calculate the effort needed to lift the load. Okay. So we know that mechanical advantage is load upon effort. Load is already given in the question as 18 kgf and mechanical advantage we have calculated. So we will write we will cross multiply. So effort is load upon mechanical advantage. ये cross multiply किया है, right? Effort ऊपर गया है, mechanical advantage नीचे आया है. So effort is load upon mechanical advantage. 18 is given in the question in the diagram, and 19 we have just calculated. So 2 kgf is the effort needed to lift this load. Let's look at another example which is most commonly asked in exams. A uniform seesaw 5 meter long is supported at the center. A boy weighing 40 kgf sits at the distance of 1 meter from the center of the seesaw. To which class of the lever does it belong? And find a girl of weight 20 kgf must sit on the seesaw so as to balance the weight of the boy. So we'll take one question at a time. First of all, by the given information, we'll draw the diagram. So a uniform seesaw 5 meter long. We will draw a uniform seesaw which is 5 meter long. Then a boy weighing 40 kgf sits at the distance of 1 meter from the center. So center will be fulcrum. Okay, from here he will sit at 1 meter from the center. So we will mark 1 meter from there and we will mark the load as 40 kgf. Okay. Now to which class of lever does it belong? Question 1. So we know that since fulcrum is in between, it is class 1 lever. Find where the girl of weight 20 kgf must sit on the seesaw so as to balance the weight of the boy. Okay, so to balance the weight of the boy means it has to be in equilibrium. So we will follow the principle of moments. So we will write, by applying the principle of moments, effort into effort arm is equal to load into load arm. And then we don't know the distance where the girl is sitting. So we will write x. And then we will put effort of 20 kgf which is the weight of the girl. So अगर load 40 kgf है तो effort कितना होगा कि वो balance हो जाए. So balance होने के लिए हमें load arm, effort arm mark करना है, load mark करना है और effort mark करना है. After marking everything, we will write according to principle of moments, effort into effort arm is load into load arm. And then substitute everything that is given and find out the unknown. So here effort is 20 kgf. The distance between fulcrum and effort is not there. So effort arm is x. Load is 40 and this distance is 1. So we will substitute everything and find the unknown. So x is 40 into 1 upon 20 which is 2 meter. So here 5 meter was just given there to confuse you. But in exams they can tell you that it is hanged at this particular distance. So आपको पहले fulcrum की position निकालनी है कि fulcrum is in between, then it has to be at 2.5. Okay, they can tell you this distance not from the fulcrum but from this end. So then you will have to calculate what is this distance. This distance will be 2.5 minus whatever is given. Okay, so in this question they can ask, they can tell you anything. यहाँ से भी distance बता सकते हैं आपको, यहाँ से भी distance बता सकते हैं, कोई भी distance बता सकते हैं. आपको क्या calculate करना है? आपको calculate करना है the distance between fulcrum and load and the distance between fulcrum and effort from the question given below. If you are able to write everything here, effort बता सकते हैं, effort arm बता सकते हैं, load और load arm बता सकते हैं अगर question में से ही, then you will be able to solve all type of problems that comes from this part. So from this part only this type of question comes which are generally very easy in board exams. So don't panic, just follow this rule, effort into effort arm is load into load arm and substitute everything here. You will be able to solve very easily. Please solve few of the questions from your textbook, from your Selena textbook or whichever textbook you have. And if you have any problem in those sums, please click a picture of that and send in the comment box. I'll be ready to answer it. In our next video lesson, we'll be talking about pulleys and pulley system and we'll be able to solve all the sums based on that. So please watch our next videos and do like us if you have liked this video.